Thank you, Father Yah, for another day of Shabbat. Yes. Thank you, Father Yah, for waking us this morning. My brothers and sisters, it's a blessing to see your faces for 3 weeks. And I know our Pastor Blackwell is always ready to give the word, but let us give him a little break. Hallelujah. You know, my brothers and sisters, it's always a blessing to speak the word. And every time we speak, we all know that we need to ask him what the word is going to be all about. And the word that he gave me is just like a question. And sometimes you don't know where this word falls into. And just hoping and praying that when this word comes out, it will fall on what you call the good grounds. That it will bear fruits, plentiful for everybody to be part of it. We know that we are just journeying in this world because we are not in this world. So anything that we can do, we need to do it. Because tomorrow's never been promised to anybody. Yesterday is gone, and today is our life. We are lucky if we're going to see another day tomorrow. So whatever we receive today, receive it with an open hands and an open hearts. That we are what you call worthy enough to receive the word. And Father Yah, use me for your word today. Hallelujah. The title of the word that he gave me is, When I Call, Are You Listening? You know, as a son to our parents, it is easy to be called a son or a daughter. But when our parents call, are we listening though? Most of the time we listen, but do we understand? If we understand, do we do the things they ask us to do? You know, just this morning I received a call from my brother telling me that his grandson has a girl pregnant. And he is 16 years old. And he told me that he talked to his grandson already about the repercussion of what he is doing. And still the grandson insists what he wants to do. Now he is in a mess. Don't know what to do. Are we that sometimes too? When our Father calls, what we are doing, are we too busy enough not to hear and heed his call? Are we in our deep focus of our lives today that we hear a lot of voices in our ears, except the one that we need to hear.
Speak well.
We hear our wives, our husband, children, and everywhere. We hear words. But when our Father calls and asks us, "Where are you?" do we even bother to listen to what He's about to say? That's why we are going to start in Isaiah chapter 50, verse 2. Now, if I step on your toes,
Please.
don't shoot the messenger. Talk to Brother Blackwell. Hallelujah. In Isaiah chapter 50, verse 2, now I'm reading TS 2009. It might be a little bit different version of what yours, but I believe it's the same thing. In Isaiah chapter 50, verse 2, here's the question. And actually, when Father Yahweh gave me this word, I feel just like the Father is saying something. Just like what I feel when I'm telling Dean to do something, and Dean just ignore me, don't even bother to look at me as if I'm nothing. Because if we have the audacity to call Him a Father, then we should have that kind of feeling, what He's feeling when He gave this word to Isaiah. Chapter 50, verse 2 said, "When I came, why was there no man? When I called, why was there no one to answer? Was my hand too short to ransom? Was my hand too short to save? Or have I no power to deliver?" You know, in our life, we will come to the conclusion that there will be a time in our lives that we will be in trouble. The irony is, to whom are we going to trust to give us some help? Do we have Pastor Blackwell in our spirit dial? Though he told us a while ago that he loved to help. Do we have our money in the bank that we can just ask God and say, "Hey, I want to withdraw something because I'm in a deep trouble"? But if we're going to ask ourselves honestly, whom shall we call in time of distress? That we can call on Him 24/7, and there's no such thing as a holiday in heaven. But the Father is asking, when I called, why was there no one answer? What are we doing when our Father is talking? You know, probably Pastor Blackwell also feels this too, that every time we are here in front of the pulpit and we are talking, and when we see somebody not paying attention, that's like, ouch. You are not disrespecting the one talking. You are disrespecting the one who's sending the message. Because if you don't care about the word that you're receiving right now, what's the point of coming? So every time he talked, he is asking the question, why was there no one to answer, nor to listen? Is that enough that He wake you up this morning? Is it not enough that you have those strong arms and legs for you to stand up and do the things that you need to do in the morning? Is it not enough for you that nobody is going to feed you when you need, when you're hungry? Is it not enough that you see your loved ones every day that you woke us up? Is it not enough if you compare yourself somewhere out there or somebody out there? Are you more blessed than them? Is it not enough that His Son died for you and I? See, by my rebuke, I dry up the sea. I make the rivers a wilderness. Their fish stink, for there is not water, and die of thirst. Now the word is saying us what Father Yah can do in the blink of an eye. And yet, why He is asking the question? Because Father Yah knows that sometimes nobody is listening. The Bible was written for us. That's the word says, isn't it? For us to learn something of what happened before us. If there's something that history tells us, is that we should do the things that those blessed people did during their time, and not to do the things that those condemned people did during their time. And yet, sometimes, we just STUIPID, doing the things that we should not be doing. And I'm thinking the question and asking the question, maybe it will be better. Will it be? Because in Isaiah 65 verse 2, it says, still in Isaiah, I have held out my hands all day long to what kind of people? Stubborn people. Hard-headed people. People with a callous heart could not even discern what is right and what is wrong. Why? Because these people are walking in a way that is not good, and yet it is good for them. Why? Because they are after their own thoughts. You know the word that is written? Don't lean on your own understanding, because the end thereof is death and destruction. And yet, when we think that we grown up, folks, we thought we know everything. Sometimes when you reach the age of 18 in American setting, we thought we can just get out of our parents' nest and just we can do whatever we want to go. Because we say,